Hi, I'm Christina Tatro with Walnut Creek TV, and today we're sitting down with the city's new Chief of Police, Ryan Hibbs. Chief, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and kick things off. We wanna learn a little bit about you and your background. So go ahead and tell us, how did you get involved in law enforcement and where did that passion come from?
Well, it's a great question. I was lucky enough to know at a young age what I wanted to do, and I didn't have any family in policing, and so my first sort of influences in policing itself were TV shows and movies. And so as a kid, my favorite TV show, it's still my favorite TV show growing up, was Miami Vice. And I thought, hey, that would be cool. I could go and do undercover work and drive Ferraris and wear cool suits. And then at some point, I actually learned that I could have a positive impact on the world around me as a police officer. So as I got older, I kind of got a little bit more buckled down and decided to go more into municipal policing. And then I got into the job, and I learned that there were no Ferraris. So that was a little bit of an adjustment, but once I actually got to do the job and learn new things and learn different techniques and learn new skills, where I really found that I could have a positive impact on people was in sexual assault and domestic violence investigations. I spent my first 6 years in a small town called Susanville, where I found my niche was investigating violent crimes against people, and that's where I really found my passion for victims and victim advocacy, and for just kind of understanding the impact I could have on victims of violent crime.
When it comes to that, what's really kept you committed this far?
Knowing that I can have an impact across different iterations of my career. When I first got into this job, I didn't want to promote. I was very happy being kind of going back and forth between patrol and investigations and making an impact directly with people. And then as I took on more leadership positions, certainly with the Walnut Creek Police Department, as I took on more leadership positions, I found that I could have a really positive impact on not only the people that I had direct contact with, but also we could shape our organizational culture to have the best impact on our community as well.
Chief Hibbs, you've served in law enforcement now for 24 years, and 16 of those have been right here in Walnut Creek. What has that journey so far in the city been like for you?
Well, so I started in Walnut Creek in 2009. So during that time, I've served as a patrol officer. I've served in our community policing team, which was, it doesn't exist anymore, but it was a great opportunity to interact with a number of community stakeholders. I served as a field training officer, which was a great, up until that point, was really the most rewarding part of my career. I served as a defensive tactics instructor, so I taught de-escalation, I taught control holds, I taught arrest control. And then in 2015, I promoted to sergeant. And so I served as a patrol sergeant for a number of years before I went to an investigations. And then I was promoted to lieutenant. The opportunity to take on city projects and community-oriented projects and interact with more of our stakeholders was really a great, it was something that you don't normally get to do in a lot of other cities. And so we really had an opportunity to shape our relationship with the community, which I took to another level as a captain, both in overseeing operations and the administrative services divisions.
Chief Hibbs, from your perspective, what makes the Walnut Creek Police Department so effective?
I would say it's our education, our training, and the fact that we just hire the best people. There's a rigorous process that goes along with hiring a police officer. Every agency struggles with staffing. We are no different, but we will not lower our standards to just put people in the seat.
Well, and what about the team are you most proud of?
Well, I'll start with my leadership team. So first of all, we've got the best people on the leadership team that, and I had the opportunity to promote most of them recently. So,
beautiful.
And I've worked with all of them over the years, over the 16 years that I've been in Walnut Creek. I've worked with all of them very closely. And so, first of all, this is the best command staff I've ever been associated with. It's definitely the best leadership team I've ever been associated with. And we're all friends. And we're all close, and so that makes the difficult times that much easier to get through, and it makes leading that much easier during difficult times as well.
Give us a good example of what meaningful community partnership and community policing looks like, and what are some of the ways that the department goes about that?
Well, for one, the key component to that is communication. So we have open lines of communication into the chief's office. We have open lines of communication to our department. But one of the really key components is our chief's citizen advisory board. And so it's made up of citizens of Walnut Creek. We meet monthly and we discuss not only issues in policing, but maybe policies we might be considering, or maybe pieces of technology we might be considering. A good example of that would be, anytime we have a piece of technology like our automated license plate readers, we draft a policy and we'll discuss it, and we'll discuss the pitfalls of technology as it relates to policing within that room. And so we get good feedback from the community in the moment. We're not surprised by anything when we then evaluate it for use later on. And so that's one really important way that we go about policing with our community.
What will your top priorities be in the year ahead?
So recruiting and retention is always going to be a challenge for policing agencies across the country. It's a fact of life now. Branding is a great recruiting tool. We've done a lot there. Agency culture, we have a strong police culture, and that basically sells itself, so we'll continue doing that. But with regard to recruiting, we could do better with diversifying our candidate pool. And one of the initiatives that we've embarked on over the last 2 years is 30 by 30. And 30 by 30, for those unaware, is an initiative in which by the year 2030, 30% of your sworn ranks are made up of women. We have some work to do there. At this point, we're trending about 14% of our sworn ranks made up of women. And at this point, that's a little lower than we've traditionally trended. But we can diversify our ranks even more, and so that's one of my priorities. Another one of my priorities is to conduct a technology audit to ensure that we're getting the most bang for our buck, so to speak. It's important that we're utilizing taxpayer dollars as efficiently as possible, while also making the police department as efficient as possible. So, and then one of my other priorities is to conduct one-on-ones with all of our people, so that I can start. You always think you have a really good handle on what the issues are in the department, but until you you start talking to everybody and give them the freedom to basically tell you anything and not hold it against them, then it's difficult to rely on just kind of your instinct to figure out what the issues are. So those will be my priorities going into 2026.
When it comes to your leadership style, how would you describe it?
So my leadership style, I think, has changed over the years, but one thing that's never left me is my servant leadership. I'm not willing to tell somebody to do something that I've not either done myself or will do myself. And I think that's an important trait for leaders, because you don't want to have somebody who doesn't know the job that you're asking your people to do. So it's really important to me to maintain that.
Looking internally, how would you say that you best support officer wellness training as well as accountability?
So wellness is really a key component of being our best selves, right? So to that end, we have a peer support program where employees can confide in the peer support team, and those conversations are confidential. Additionally, we offer through a number of different avenues, we offer support services for family and individuals through therapy and other modes of wellness that allow us to be our best selves. And so the nice thing about the therapy component to that is, if one of our employees or one of our people want to seek some form of therapy, we don't know who it is. That's all confidential. We just receive a bill, and we pay it happily, because we want to make sure that all of our people have access to the best care that they can have. We have a city gym inside City Hall that our employees have access to. We do have an on-duty workout program that our officers can, as part of their workday, they can get a workout in if they are so inclined. We have a healthy vending machine from a local vendor that actually they provide meals for us that are freshly cooked. They come and replenish that every week. The profession hasn't always been wellness focused on its people, and so we're continuing to learn and evolve and get better at that. But wellness has become a priority for a lot of agencies over the years, and we're no different. In terms of training, we train 120 hours a year, which may or may not sound like a lot, but to give a little bit of perspective, the average agency trains about 60 hours a year. And so we don't just do the required trainings, we add on, and we make sure that our people are the best that they can be.
Chief Hibbs, as you begin this new role and this new chapter as Chief of Police, what message to residents and businesses of Walnut Creek do you want to send?
that we will continue partnering with you to make the Walnut Creek Police Department the premier agency of the Bay Area and to make Walnut Creek as safe and welcoming as possible for everyone.